Dear Melissa, despite years of writing and speaking by product management thinkers like yourself and Marty, there are still many feature factories out there. In my city, I would say that the majority of companies are feature factories. There are many product managers who follow PM thought leaders and understand what good product management looks like, but I haven't been lucky enough to work in that environment. What would your advice be to one of those product managers who is trying to escape the feature factory hell and ascend to empowered team nirvana? How do you think an applicant can overcome that disadvantage when applying for jobs at good product management companies? How do you escape the career trap? Like that. Nice little play on words there. This is true. I'm just gonna say that I would love it if all companies were not feature factories anymore, but the majority of them still are. There are plenty of great high-powered SaaS companies that are not feature factories, but there's so many companies out there in the world. Not everyone is going to be great at product management yet. I've seen a huge shift though. I've seen a huge shift in people getting better at product management. So I'm extremely hopeful that in another 10 years, we're not going to be having these conversations. What I think you could do is really concentrate on what you can control in your current job. Make it a good story. So look at what you have control over. And if you're applying as an individual contributor, right, it's like working with your teams. How do you prioritize your work? How do you set goals? How do you do those things? Talk about what you can execute on and how you do them well. Talk about how you did experiments in challenging environments, right? Talk about how you worked with your developers well. Talk about how you worked with the leadership team to pull OKRs out of them, even if they didn't want to do it, right? Turn that into a story. Now, the resume when you're applying for these jobs is huge. That's absolutely huge. So I screen resumes all the time for people in the companies that I help for hiring. What I'm looking for is like keywords. Like I set goals based on X, Y, and Z. Here's the outcomes that I got. Even if it's not a great outcome, if you can just say that you were striving towards an outcome or you were oriented towards it, that helps. Like use the language that you know is good in your resume and describe to the best of your ability, what you tried to do. Now, when you go into the interviews, let's say you get past that screen, you go into these interviews, tell them why you're leaving. Be like, my company doesn't operate super well with product management. And I know there's a better way. So I've been pushing. I've been trying to help them realize that they could do these things better, that it would be easier for them if we actually operated in these ways, that we could be more impactful and we could do outcomes. Here's what I did to try to get them on my side. But I'm just facing resistance at these leadership levels. I want to come to a company that really does great product management. I've been honing my craft even in an environment where it's been hard to do that. And this is how I've taken initiative. People love it when you say, I've taken initiative, I tried these things, I didn't just wait for permission, right? I actually tried to do these things. And I went out there, and even if it was small and feels like it wasn't super meaningful, that's a big deal. So tell that story, right? Have a really good, compelling story. And I don't think that's going to block you from getting into a good product management company. Just think about what it is that you bring to the table as well. Think about the skills and talk about the skills that you've developed there and really hit on those core product management skills. I think if you could tell a story about how you've done product management well, even in a challenging environment, that shows that you're taking initiative, you recognize what good looks like, and you want to be where good looks like. And I'll say, first of all, too, having product manager on your resume is already a huge step ahead. A lot of people are trying to break into this. You're already there. Now you just got to find a company where you can actually execute. So just tell your story really, really well.